Well, we have office hours till 2:30, so she's probably with a student. This is the link to the whole slide presentation. So if you want a copy of the slides presentation, you can type that in and get the link. And also we ask that you sign in. We did get word that we got approved for the PDUs. So if you are interested in that, it will help to sign in so then we can contact you and follow up. Yes, Becky did the Bitmojis. She insisted I reopen my Snapchat account so that we could have Bitmojis together. Yes. So I think there are 2 of them in this presentation. So yes, if you could go, and you know what, I'll put this in the, I'll put it in the chat too. Ooh, I've got caps lock. Oh, maybe I should just actually make that a live link. There we go. There's a live link. And I'll put the sign in too if you don't want to get the slides. There's the sign in. Okay. All right, we'll get started in about a minute. All right, so if you're just joining us, if you want the slides, we have the link. I will put it back in the chat again. And if you don't want the slides, if you could sign in, that is also in the chat. And we'll get started in about 30 seconds. All right. All right, this is our last one. I want to thank everyone for coming. This has certainly been a learning experience for Becky and I in terms of the delivery of the lesson. She and I have been planning lessons of math and PD together for years, but this is the first time we've done a set that are online. So we've learned a lot of things. We've learned a lot of things. It's been an interesting experience, and I look forward to doing some more in the future. I'm also thinking about doing some just more asynchronous kind of presentations. Because we've heard back from a lot of people that there are specific things that they'd like to see, like more about sites. So there'll be more in the future. I appreciate everyone saying thank you. You're welcome. I have enjoyed it. It's nice to see everyone. I miss seeing other adults besides my husband and Becky on a meet every day that we have.
Every single day. Sorry that I'm late. I totally lost track of time helping a student.
That's what I figured happened.
Yes, it has been a whirlwind of meets all day. I have been nonstop since 10 a.m.
I believe it. So if you were not able to, we're going to get started. And I put the links in the chat one more time in case you came in after they were already up. So there's one for the slides themselves, and there is one for the sign-in. So if you, I made the announcement right at the beginning, but we did get approved for the PDUs. So if you are interested in getting those, please definitely make sure you sign in so that we can follow up with you. and make sure that we take care of that. Okay, so it's the last one, Edpuzzle. Yes, it's very exciting. We already got complimented on your Bitmoji, Becky.
Ah, yes.
I know. All right, so Edpuzzle. We're definitely going to go through an Edpuzzle. You'll experience it today, but I do want to sell it first, even though you did come here. It does provide an opportunity for assessment and feedback. So it is students, teachers can build in different question types. There's multiple choice, and you can also have checkbox. You also can just kind of put notes within videos. It also encourages student engagement because you can set it up so the students cannot skip through videos. And then the last bit that I think is really great is that it's customizable, and you can use your own videos, or you can use other people's pre-made Edpuzzles, or you can get them from YouTube. And everything is built into the site. So I think it's very user-friendly. There's definitely some things that you learn along the way, like, oh, I would do it this way differently next time. But it's hard to mess up. And even when you messed up, you can always fix it.
Yeah, you're not going to break it.
Nope.
The important thing to note, though, is, Christy, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have the pro account for 6 through 12, grades 6 through 12. K to 5 does not have the pro account currently. That's correct. But the difference between the pro account and the free account is you get to store 5 videos at a time, but you can just delete the videos after you've used them. So you are still able to use this K to 5 if you're interested. It's just a little bit different on storage wise. Also, if you invite someone to join, you automatically get 3 extra storage for both of you. So you definitely want to share it out if you're interested in using it.
I think it's definitely worth it, even if you can have 5 at a time. I think that it is a really great tool. So what are we going to do today? Learning objectives. Posted on the board. Here you go.
Posted on the board. Check.
Participants will explore different ways to create Edpuzzles. They'll practice different ways to share them. And then also they'll see kind of the potential of the tool, because there's a lot of great things. And then before we get started, one more thing. When we go into Edpuzzle, typically you kind of see a screen of Edpuzzles, and they come in these like little tiles. And so it has the little thumbnail of the video. Those are my fingers, by the way. This is an old math video that I made. It tells you how long the video is. It will tell you the example or the name of the Edpuzzle itself. And this is what I really wanted to show you. It shows you the number of questions or notes built into that Edpuzzle. So sometimes people just have a video that they want their students to watch, and then they want to ensure that they did that. I often like to build in the questions and the notes. So I wanted to make sure that we saw that up front. So when we go in, you're like, well, how am I supposed to know how long it is? This is how you know, and this is your title. So we are going to have you sign up. Becky, do you want to take over for a second and show how they can have 2 tabs next to each other?
Yes, yes. I actually have 2 screens right now, Melissa. I know, but I'm going to move us all onto one screen so that I can show you how we like to do our setup.
So one of the things we have learned is that, you know, doing this kind of PD, you want people to see us and hear our presentation, but we also want them to have the app open or the website. So not everyone has multiple screens because, wow, that's just ridiculous. So we want to show you, if you aren't already comfortable doing it, how to have your tabs next to each other so you can see and hear us presenting, but you can also have Edpuzzle right next to it. I currently have 2 screens because I discovered I had an old computer that I wasn't working and I could hook them up, and it has changed my life. So
I went on to take your hand-me-down. You should totally do it. I got a free monitor and it's like the best thing in the world.
Yes, if you do have an extra monitor, it is life-changing, especially if we're going to continue to live like this for a while.
Yes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the screen not go full screen anymore. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to just drag it. Oh, nope, because I'm on 2 screens.
Yeah, now you're on 2 screens. You can't do it that way.
I don't know how to do this. Okay, so I'm just going to resize it. So you could click and drag. I'm just going to resize since I'm on 2 screens and totally forgot. Obviously, I haven't done this on the 2-screen life yet. Okay, and then I also want my Edpuzzle. So all I did was I clicked plus for a new tab. And then I took that new tag and I'm dragging it off to the side. And here I'm going to go to Edpuzzle. Okay. The other nice thing about this is if I'm presenting, so like in a Google Meet when I'm with students, this is me over here with a presentation. So I like to just go like, hold on, it's trying to go to the other screen. But I like to drag it all the way over so I just look at my students. So that's totally up to you how you decide to size it. Okay. You can always make it less and more. Okay. But you want to have two screens going on right now. One with our Meet in it and the other with Edpuzzle. Okay, and we're going to sign up for an account. So right now, I'm logged into Caster's free account, her basic account. Notice that there is storage here and everything, but we're going to create a new account. So go ahead and go to edpuzzle.com. And instead of looking at you guys, I'm going to pull our presentation here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and sign up. So we're going to get started. There are two different types of accounts. There's a teacher account and a student account. So this time I'm going to be a teacher. When you're in the student account, you have a lot less options and you'll have to switch back and forth because I do have two accounts, a student account and a teacher account linked to the same email. So just be sure that you chose I'm a teacher. And then we're going to sign in with Google. Right? I already have an account, so let's make Jake an account. So
Jake's her son.
Jake is my son.
He's in first grade. He'll need one as a teacher, I'm sure.
He'll definitely need a teacher account. So I just signed in with Google like normal. Okay, and it wants some information. So it auto-populates it, and it wants the password. So this is where if you had the free account and you wanted to get some free videos by referring, or somebody gave you a referral code, you would put it here, and it would get you some extra things. We are going to agree to Edpuzzle's terms of service and privacy policy. Okay, and this is if you want some updates, email updates, you can click that. You don't have to, and then create new account. Okay, how are we doing so far? Oh, what was Bob's tip?
Tab resize extension.
Oh, you know what? I saw that the other day. Margot posted it. It is very cool. Okay, so under school, I'm going to choose Cleveland Heights, and it's going to start looking for me. Okay, I'm at the high school, so I'm going to choose the high school. And your subject. The subject is nice because it it auto-populates some videos for you. So anytime I log into my Edpuzzle, I see Melissa's videos up top because she also teaches math at the high school and uses Edpuzzle. And then I join the school. How are we doing so far with those steps? Good? Thumbs up if you're good.
So it will ask you to check your school email and verify the Edpuzzle account. When I did it, it happened pretty quickly.
Nancy, there's not an upgraded code. I think it just automatically does it. Christy, can you verify that? Do you know that answer?
Yeah, if you select your school as Monticello, Roxborough, or Cleveland Heights High School, you should automatically be linked to the Pro School account.
Okay. So after this, we've got some task cards for you. Just like we did before, we'll run through the tasks if you feel like you need somebody running through it with you. We've got a video on there, so you can watch us do it via video if you want to kind of do it at your own pace, or the steps are there, so you can just go ahead and follow the steps yourself. So there's 3 tracks going on right now. You can either do the task yourself with the steps. You can watch the, click the watch us complete this task, the circle on there. Or you could just stay on here with us and we are going to be running through this. Feel free to, if you're doing the task yourself and you can't deal with the multiple voices, we're going to be on here until at least 3:30. So feel free to leave and then rejoin. That's normally what my students do in the meet. They leave to listen to their video and then they rejoin when they're ready. Okay, so for the first task, we are going to go into Edpuzzle. And we are going to find a specific Edpuzzle for you guys today. So, Melissa, do you want to demo that?
Sure. Let me get out of here. Oh, let's get out. Okay. Okay, so let me bring my Edpuzzle over so you can see. We're going to search Pomodoro technique. I wanted to just pick one that everyone could see and pick one that had definitely some questions in it and a note in it. Hopefully you'll be able to search it. Now, since I can't find Sally Masha's any videos, I'm hoping you're going to be able to find mine. Even if you can't find mine, there are a couple. Here is, oh, I went to my content. That's why. We're just going to go home. And I'll search all content. That may have been why I couldn't find Sally's. So hopefully when you searched it up here in this search bar, there is a video that came up that says my name on it. And it says the Pomodoro technique. And like I said, you could see the time. This tells you how many questions or notes are in it. And this is just our thumbnail. Okay, so we found that. And what we want you to do is watch the first few minutes and notice the different interruptions. So if this is your first time ever experiencing an Edpuzzle, we definitely want you to see what it's kind of like as a student. So you can click on it and just press play. And I'm not sharing my audio, so you guys don't have to listen to this. But take about the video is 3 minutes and 51 seconds. So take some time to just go through this specific one. The first time I used Edpuzzle, I kept getting frustrated because these things would pop up. You can skip them. It will stop the video completely. So you can just skip it. But you'll see they also have the option of rewatching.
And that's only an option for the teachers unless teachers specifically set it up for students.
Here's our note. Fun fact. Becky, you might want to mute your mic when Georgie is talking.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear her screaming?
Yes.
Going potty. So we watched about a minute now, a little over a minute. And the next part of the task is something that I wasn't aware of, how to share it with other teachers. So in our TBT team, we work as a pair very often, so or a team. So we want to share out the videos to our colleagues before we necessarily assign them to students. So what we're going to do this time is we are going to click on the share button on the side. I think you have to scroll down, right, Melissa?
I think because it's my video.
Oh, because it's your video. Here,
it's my video. I think it's because it's my video. I don't have the share button.
Okay. Here, I'm going to take over.
Okay. So I agree with Becky. Sometimes I find an Edpuzzle and I co-teach. So I want to send it to my co-teacher and see what she thinks about it. And then we can talk about it. So this is a way to do that without assigning it to a student. If you just want to kind of check it out together or literally share it with other people, it's just a link and it will let them see the entire Edpuzzle just like you saw.
So right here, there's the share button down at the bottom. And you could just copy that link and I can email it to Melissa and see if she likes it. I just paste in the link in my email. Okay. We like to keep calendars. So a lot of times we share the link on a doc or whatever we're sharing with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice just to share it with other adults and talk about it before you actually assign it to a student.
Especially because sometimes I'm that queen of like every 30 seconds there's a stop and I need somebody to rein me back in and be like, I don't know if that's necessarily best. So I love a team. I am a team teacher.
Agreed.
So for task 2A, we are going to be talking about taking a YouTube video you have found and Edpuzzling it to build in some formative assessment and kind of prevent students from not necessarily watching the video. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to open a new tab and I want you to Google a YouTube video you want to make an Edpuzzle with. So any topic you want, go ahead and search for a video right now.
Sometimes this open-ended thing kind of like throws me off. So I like to just think about something I'm teaching next week.
Exactly. When I did this, I looked up box and whisker plots because that's where we're at in the Algebra 1 curriculum.
Right.
So when you're Googling it, so if I'm doing box plots, I want to make sure that I come over here to videos on Google, and I'm specifically looking for a YouTube video. So I could see in the link that this one is a YouTube, but I probably don't want to use this Khan Academy one that's not a YouTube.
I would search box plot YouTube.
Oh, even better. Look at you.
I think that's going to give you better results.
Proficient Googler.
There you go. That's why I'm googly.
Yes, totally. Or just, go to YouTube. Yes. Yeah, totally, Joyce. Okay. Whatever way works best for you. Okay. Once you have that video, we are going to copy, I like to say URL, the link up here, the address. Okay, so make sure you have that copied. Is everybody cool if I keep going? Okay, so on my Edpuzzle, I'm just gonna exit out of that little pop-up bar, and I'm gonna go back to the main screen. So I go back by clicking this Edpuzzle up in the corner. Okay, and now I'm gonna come down here to YouTube. So I'm on the sidebar on the left, and I'm gonna click YouTube right underneath Edpuzzle. And instead of searching for a video, I'm just gonna paste the video I already found. And do you see how quickly that happened? As soon as I pasted, it jumped straight to the video.
Yeah, you don't even press enter. It just jumps very quickly.
Yes. I know I like to move fast, but I promise you that wasn't me that time. So paste and it'll jump right there for you. Okay, so there's a few options you could do from this screen. Say I didn't want the whole video. So this video is 6 minutes and 33 seconds. So maybe I want to cut off the end of it because I know my kids' attention span is very low. Okay.
You got to stick to the task, Becky.
Sorry. Okay.
I know there's cool stuff you want to show them, but
it's so many cool things.
Let them just do the questions, Becky.
Okay.
Can I interrupt for a second? I'm sorry. My phone, something happened. How did you get to this screen?
What I did is I went to the Edpuzzle home screen.
Okay.
I went down here to YouTube.
Okay.
Under popular channels. Okay. And then I just pasted the link that I had saved, that I copied.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Gretchen, are you in as a student or as a teacher? Maybe that's where you're struggling right now.
Do you mind sharing your screen?
It should be as a teacher because I was able to edit one of the assignments before. So I'll double check and then I can show my screen.
Yeah, if you share your screen, we could problem solve together. While you're looking at that, Gretchen, I'm just going to keep talking about questions and not anything that's off task. Sorry. I get excited. I can't help it.
I know.
Okay, so questions over here. There are three types of questions, or three types of inserts for questions you can add. You could do a multiple choice. Okay, so you can ask your question up here, and then you could put in as many choices as you want. You can get extra choices by pressing this plus another answer choice. The big thing I want to tell you is make sure that you change this X or this check mark to say which one is the correct answer. Kids will yell at me if I forget to check the correct answer because that'll mark them incorrect. Okay, so make sure you are checking the correct answer.
Can I ask a question? I have my video, but I don't have this sidebar on the right for the questions. How did that pop up?
Are you in, does it look like you're editing? Do you have the cut voiceover in questions?
Do I have to hit the little edit, the little pencil?
This little pencil just changes the name of the assignment.
Oh.
Do you see where it says cut voiceover in questions, or do you not have that?
Wait, let me open up my screen. Oh yeah, cut voice. Oh, you know what? With my screen.
With the screen so small, I know.
I missed it. Okay, I got it. I'm there. Okay, thanks. I got it.
I can make my screen smaller so that you guys are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. So I'm on the questions, and then the questions show up down here. Oh.
Okay, good. Let's see Gretchen's stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Can you press the little Edpuzzle button up in the upper left corner? Yeah. And then press the three horizontal lines. Okay, so you're definitely in the middle school, so that's good. At my content curriculum. Okay.
What happens when you put in your YouTube link? Or do you want to open something so we can check it out?
That, the exercise in the brain, that went straight in there. So I went to YouTube up here. I got the link. I went in, I pasted it here, and it popped right up.
Okay, so real fast, press those 3 lines for me again and go to YouTube. I want to watch what happens. So scroll down to YouTube. Yep. And paste that in there. So here's where the questions are at. If you click the questions button and scroll down, your questions are going to be underneath because you're not on full screen right now.
No, there's nothing. I can't scroll down.
There's no scrolling down.
No. And so before, I can show you, because I was messing with this earlier to get this video up. Let me see. And I had the edit button. There it is. Okay. So I can hit edit, but there's no questions.
You can't add them. Interesting.
No. And even over here, I can't see the full question for some of them. And if I click on it, nothing happens. So this has happened 2 out of my 3 assignments that I've done. And I can't click on any of them here to see them pop up either.
Can you play the video there?
Yes.
And does it like stop like a normal thing? Will it stop and say the question?
No.
We all know that exercise makes us feel better.
This is the first one's only
have
29
no
seconds
idea why.
in.
We assume it's because we're burning off stress or boosting endorphins. But the real reason we feel so good when we exercise is that it makes the brain function at its best. And in my opinion, this benefit is far more important than what it does for the body. Building muscles, conditioning the heart and lungs are essentially side effects. The real point
then as you play the video, is the time supposed to move forward?
Today's technology-driven
time is moving forward either.
Easy to forget that we were born.
And you're on Chrome right now, is that correct?
Yes.
Why don't you log out and log back in? I always like to do that
earlier
when I don't know what to start with.
Like off of the Edpuzzle?
Yeah, on Edpuzzle, log out.
How do I
it's
log
up
out?
all the way on the right side. You just hit it behind your, yep. You got to click on your face. I was trying to add a picture for my face for the longest yesterday.
That just came up through Google. I didn't put that on there.
Oh, did it? Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mine is my Google one. That's the problem.
Yeah. Are you
That's
logging
the
in with
problem.
Google?
Scroll down, log in with Google. That might be the problem. Let's see. Who knows? You never know.
Nope.
Oh, I'm going to keep looking.
Okay, Gretchen, we'll keep problem solving for you, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Of course. So I'm going to pick up right where we left off. Okay, so the we were talking about multiple choice. The other options, you could do an open-ended question. The thing with open-ended question is there's no like correct answer that you could put in. So this doesn't get graded until after the students have watched the video. So an open-ended question I normally do is something like predict the next step, and then the video will tell them. Or I'll ask a question, write what the video just said. And then when they continue after they answer the question, most of the time the answer's in the video. And then the last part is a note. So the note is like what we saw in the first one. There's no place for students to interact with it, but it could be something like, please write this down in your notes, or remember when we did this on page 17. So something to get their brain thinking and to stop for just a second. So once you have added your questions, okay, we click save. And then to finish this video, we are going to go up here to that finish button and click that. So here's my finished Edpuzzle that I just created from a YouTube video. So we're going to jump to task 2B now. So I can't do this task, Melissa, because I'm not a teacher in any Google Classroom in Jake's account.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing and let you take over.
Okay. I was going to suggest, Gretchen, if you go to your name in the upper right corner and you go to the Help Center, there is a place to contact them. So I clicked on my name and then Help Center, and then the option says Contact Us, and you can let them know what the problem is, because I think this is on their end. I don't think you're doing anything wrong.
I got it. I see that. I will send something. Yeah, because I was working with Tina, my counterpart at Roxborough, and she was able to go right in and edit everything. Right. And I can't edit anything at all. So I will email them now. Thank you.
Okay, and I saw the question, can you do more than one type of question? Yes, you can do multiple choice, or you can do, let me go
open-ended or a note.
Open-ended.
I'm presenting real fast. I did not explain that very well, Jacqueline. I'm sorry. So,
you know, can I just cannot type more than one question. I'm only seeing how, because I typed what is the name of the sculpture, but I don't know how to add more questions.
So
you can just click somewhere else on the timeline and add it where you would like to add it on the timeline.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You can also stack them, Jacqueline. So when you ask a question, so what's this? I can come down here, and once I save it, let me put in some answers so it lets me. Once I save it, it will let me, where's that question? Okay, it will let me add another thing to the same spot as well. So I can add another note if I want, or I can add another question.
Okay, so you save a question before you go to another one?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to save it, and then once you save it and it kind of stops that video for you, I can add in another question down here. You do have to scroll down to see that though. Okay, so when I'm making my Edpuzzle, I like to watch the video. Can I turn off the volume on here? Of course not. I can mute the tab.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to
Okay, so I like to watch the video, and then when I see a good part to put in a question, that's when I press the question button. Because it'll automatically put it in where you want it.
Sounds good.
You can also move it once you put it in.
Totally. I'm just not good at the sliding, the dragging of the question.
All right, I want to show how to share it to Classroom, so I'm going to pull up mine. All right, so I've got my video. Let's say I put my questions in where I want them. I'm happy with what it looks like, and I press finish. Okay, and then I want to assign it. So I'm going to go to assign. And I have my Google Classroom, and you can see it's my Google Classroom because it has a little icon here. I'm going to click my Google Classroom. And you can see my options. I can start it today. I can have a due date. I can prevent it from skipping. That means the students can't like fast forward ahead. I can turn on the closed captioning, and I can post it to my Google Classroom. So I can turn that on and off. And
do you want to also show them where they would link their Google Classroom, what they would touch to get the Google Classroom in there? The add new class button.
Your Google Classroom is automatically in there.
Is it? I don't think so. I think I had to add it yesterday.
It's automatically in there. I never added Algebra 2 2019, 2020.
Interesting.
But if you do need to, you can't find it, you can go to add and import a class from Google Classroom. So let me do that again. Okay, so I went to assign, And if I don't see the class I want, so I only have one Google Classroom. I have all 129 students in the same place. I know people like to do it by period. So if you don't see all the classes, we're going to go to add new class. And you can import it. And then you can get your Google Classroom. So you can see I'm also a teacher. I'm also a teacher in this geometry classroom. That's my mentee's class. I could add it to his as well. So maybe I did add it at some point. I don't remember doing that, but I must have. So I'm not going to add his kids because I'm not going to push anything to his geometry class. They get enough notifications. So I'm going to click on the one I want, and that's when the assign button will become live. And then, like I said, you want to make sure you're choosing either if you want it to skip or not, closed captioning, post it to Google Classroom. If I do post it to Google Classroom, I'll show you what happens when I assign. It'll take a minute to load. Thinking about loading. So now you can see, I should go to my Google Classroom and see if it posted. But you can see these are all my students. And
the really great thing is you can go into Google Classroom as well and edit who sees it. So if you only want a certain amount of students to see it, you can go into that post and edit it.
Yep, here's my post. It came up here. My students are probably like, "What are you doing? Why are you assigning this to us?" So I'm let's hopefully I can delete this.
Yes, you can.
Let's see. Can I?
I think you had to do that 3 dots and then say delete instead of edit.
There was no delete.
Oh, is it on your classwork tab probably?
I don't know. Let's check.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yes, thank goodness, because my students would be really upset. So I'm going to delete that out of there. But it does post it automatically, even if you didn't see it post. So if you do like that, yeah, no kidding. My students would have been very sad. If you do like just being able to post right to Classroom, that is a nice way to do it. And your students are automatically in here. I do want to make a comment about, and I put a big slide in here. If you are planning to use this next year with Google Classroom, the first time you add that Google Classroom, it does not automatically update as you get new students. So I'm sure your experience is somewhat like mine. When I start the year, the first 2 weeks, I have certain students. And then as the year goes on, I lose some and then I gain some. And if I'm going to post a video, those new students who join my classroom will not have access to that. So you'll have to import them. So just be aware of that. There is another way to do it without using Google Classroom, and we have that in another task. But we did put this on here and we did link the directions. It's not a long process. You just update and import students. But I just did want to make people aware of that because we did get questions from at least one person in the past couple weeks because he couldn't find his students. So, all right, all right. Becky, are you going to do task 3?
Sure.
Okay, do we want to do a check, see where people are?
Yeah, if you could go ahead and write down if you are, what task you are on or ready for in the chat, that would be very helpful. Z, yeah, you can assign it whenever you'd like. So I like to keep it kind of in the Edpuzzle land until I'm ready to assign. And I use this other way of assigning. So we're going to talk about it in just a minute.
So I happen to notice that one of the options is prevent skipping. Mm-hmm. Are you going to get to that part yet, or should I ask my question now?
You should ask your question now.
Okay. So when I see the start date, due date, right underneath that, prevent skipping. So I'm assuming that obviously is literal, the literal meaning. And then right below that is turn on CCs. Does this have an option for closed captions?
That is what that is, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And the kids love the closed captions. So many of them like mute our voice and just watch the closed caption.
Yes, my students do that as well.
I like that option.
I like that option too. Yeah. Doesn't look like anybody is telling us to stop. So let's keep going. Okay, Melissa, I'm going to take over.
Yes, let me, I'll get out of here. well, you could just bump me, but go ahead.
Okay. So once I can find my mouse, I'm still getting used to this double screen. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is we're going to take somebody else's Edpuzzle and we're going to use it. So on the left-hand side, we're going to press this skinny hamburger, and it's going to open up. And I want to go down to Edpuzzle because I'm going to try to find one that's already made for me. Okay, I could search any topic that I'm doing right now. So why don't you guys search something that you're going to do in the near future? So we're doing two-way tables in algebra next week. So
this is a really nice, this is a nice option if you are not feeling inspired or you just want to see what other teachers have used. You can, well, you'll see we're about to use their exact Edpuzzle. Yep.
Okay, so I can see nicely, like this one's 11 minutes and 9 questions or notes, just like Melissa showed us earlier with the anatomy of the Edpuzzle. This one is 22 minutes. You know what? That's a little bit too long for my students, and there's nothing, no breaks in it, so I'm probably not going to use that one. Let's go with this 7-minute one right here. So click on whatever one you want. You can't break it. Try it out. Okay, so once I clicked on the video that I want, I'm going to choose to edit it. So I got to click this skinny hamburger off to the side because I'm not in full screen. And I've got some options here. So if I just click assign, it's going to send this to the student just how it is. I'm not editing anything. Okay, if I want to make this my own, I'm going to click the edit button. Okay, and I can look at what is there. So right now when we're at online learning, maybe the students haven't heard your voice in a while because you're using other people's videos. So,
I don't know if they want to hear my voice.
Well, I don't know. They love to hear my voice. What are you talking about? I love when my voice is on surround sound when we're in the classroom. So maybe you want to do a voiceover. So what a voiceover does is it takes out the sound from the video and it puts your sound on top of it. So when you click voiceover, okay, and you start playing the video, so anywhere I want to interject my sound, I can start talking. So you do have to allow your microphone. Does everybody see my allow box up here?
Yep,
So
and that's just one time.
Yeah, just one time and you're done. I don't know why it's asking me again. Okay, so I could talk over top of this two-way table, frequency table practice worksheet. I could say anything I want. I could tell them my content standards up front, or I want to tell them to take their time and make sure they show their work, whatever they're doing. Yes, it's because I'm Jake. Okay, so whatever I want to put in there, I can. When I'm done, I just click stop recording. And you're going to notice you can listen to it. So if you don't like the way it sounds, you could trash it. Okay, and start over. If you rewatch this video, you're going to hear me instead of the video at first. So it completely replaces it. I think I turned this out. Oh, I muted this tab. So you're not going to hear anything. That's why. Okay. Frequency table, practice worksheet. I can say anything I want. I can tell them so there's my sound over top. And I'm going to go off script. Melissa, don't yell at me. If you want sound that does not stop your video, does not go on top of, but stops your video, you want to go to questions still. So if you want to just interject a quick thought, you could do that with the note and the microphone feature. So if you want the video to stop and then you say something, you want to do that with questions, note, and microphone. If you want to talk over top of the video, you want to do that with voiceover. Okay, that's the difference between the two. And that's task 3A. So why don't you guys try that?
I'm going to add that in the speaker notes, Becky.
That difference between, am I muted? No, I'm not.
No.
The difference between the note and the voiceover.
Yep.
And that's on my video that I created for the watch us do this. you know, I like to add in extra things.
I know it.
I just get too excited that I have to share. Okay, if you guys thumbs up me, I can move on to 3B. Nancy, that's an excellent question. Did everybody see Nancy's question? She just asked, do all Edpuzzles you make become available to everyone? I assume so.
Yes.
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 Yeah, so they're just out there. So watch yourself.
Before you
go Google yours later. So 3B, we're going to be talking about another way you could share your videos. No, it's not. I'm going to talk about questions. I'm a liar. Okay, so on the questions tab, so I'm there now.
Oh, the feedback, yeah.
Yeah, the feedback, which is huge. Okay, this I feel like is the most important part of Edpuzzle. So on the questions, I'm going to add in a multiple choice question of what is the probability of something. Okay. And when I type in my answer, maybe at 0.5 and 0.3, I'm going to make sure that I mark which one was wrong and mark which one is right. But in addition to that, I'm going to click this box or this little button that says feedback down in the corner. And I'm going to tell them why this is wrong. Okay, so this is wrong because, and actually give them an explanation. So you're not going to be online when they're watching this necessarily. So they're not going to get that feedback from you right away. So you need to prepare the feedback for them. So since we're all doing asynchronized learning right now, we want that feedback built in and for them to get it immediately so they can act on that. Okay, so by typing your feedback, they will see it as soon as they're done answering. Say I type my feedback, but then I don't remember what my question said. I could just click this button again and it'll take me back to the question. So you could flip back and forth with it. I could do the same thing for the correct answer, like, yay, you. Okay. But here's the deal. They get the feedback for all of the answers. So if you put in good distractors, you could even talk about why that's the wrong answer. So they will see every single feedback on there, and it will tell them whether they marked the correct or incorrect answer. If you watched my video, I do preview that a little bit on Jake's account with an Edpuzzle I created. So if you want to see the student side, you totally can. And then I could save it, and I can add another question that's stacked. So here's my option to add another question that's stacked, or I can play the video and choose to add another question over here. I could do the same thing with an open-ended. Remember how I said the open-ended, you have to go in and grade at a later time? That feedback is going to be really important for the open-ended question. So I would say, is it snowing today? Okay. And my feedback would be, really? Go look outside. It totally is. Okay. Tell them something so that they know if the question's right or wrong before they keep going. The drawback to Edpuzzle is the kids don't get a notification when it gets graded. So that feedback is like triple important.
Agreed. I also like that, and Becky and I have talked about this before, that if you do an open-ended question and you don't anticipate you're going to be able to go back in and score it and give them that feedback quickly, you can just put a note immediately after this and tell them the answer. Or you can just ask the question that you know is going to be answered later in the video, and then they will kind of see that either if they were right or wrong.
Yes. So now what we're going to do is what I said before. We're going to finish this video. Do you guys need another second so you could put in some feedback? Thumbs up if you're ready. Thumbs down if you're not. Cool. I got 3 thumbs up. I'm rolling.
You got
Okay.
5 minutes anyway, so that's
Oh
good.
my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to press the finish button.
You don't have to talk fast.
Okay, so I press the finish button, and this is my preferred way of assigning Edpuzzles. Is I go over here, and I'm going to assign it, and I'm going to add a new class. So maybe this is my Honors Algebra 1 students. It could be anything. Okay, it could just be your algebra class. This is how I kind of do things. And I could add a description. Normally, all my classes have McDonald's, Castor, Tokar, and Tufts in it because we just assign it once to all of our students. And then you could choose Classic or Open. I always choose Classic and create the class. And now I can assign it to all of them. Nobody's in this class right now, so they're not going to, I can't assign manually because I don't have anybody in it. And I click Assign. Now, instead of giving kids the code to this class, what I do is I go to the Share Assignment, and it gives me a link. And that's the link I put in my Google Classroom, or that's the link I embed in the hyperdocs of what they're doing this week. So as soon as they click that link, and let me see who I'm logged in as because I'll act as a student on a different account. Oh, I am myself right now. So I'm going to share this assignment. And when Jake goes into it, so here's the link. It has him sign in. So we're going to log in with Google. What did I do before I knew his login? I
say that all the time. Thank God I have 4 kids in the district. I can use their logins all the time.
Especially, well, you know what? Exchange students are nice because each of my exchange students gets a new one, and I don't have to worry about screwing up their accounts because they're just in there for a year. It's wonderful. So notice what happened on Jake's account. It's like, hey, we found this new class for you. Do you want to join it? So he clicks join class, and then it immediately takes him to my video. Okay, so there's no in-between step. He doesn't have to join and then find the video. That link joins him and takes him to the video, which is my favorite part. And I love that I can get other people's Google Classroom kids in on my account, which is nice.
Agreed. So I think this is definitely the way you want to go if you don't have Google Classroom or you don't want to connect it only to your Google Classroom students. The benefit here is definitely having that flexibility of adding other kids. The benefit of having Google Classroom is that once you do have some scores in, it is integrated and you can push them to Classroom. So if you're that kind of person that really likes that integration, which by the way, now we have the integration from Classroom to Infinite Campus. We are all kinds of fancy.
We are so fancy.
Technically go from Edpuzzle to Classroom and then Classroom to Infinite Campus with only presses of buttons. So if that's attractive, then that's a good reason to use Google Classroom. But if not, this way that Becky does it is great too, because you never have to worry about importing new students. They just automatically get added when they have the link.
And Z, you were asking about, does it go straight to the kid right away on Google Classroom? It does, but if I wanted to send this, once I can find it, if I wanted to assign it to my Google Classroom, so I've got a fake one right here. Oops, I could do this later, okay? Or I can, no, I can't, never mind. I lied. Do it later. Okay, we are pretty much out of time, which is lucky because we have only left this advanced task for A and for B. So if you're interested, the advanced task is pretty sweet, I think. It connects your Screencastify with your Edpuzzle so that you could take a Screencastify video that you've recorded. Let me just pop this up real fast just to preview this task. So here's all of my insane things. Okay, so maybe I recorded this video and I wanted to Edpuzzle it. I could just click a button that says upload to Edpuzzle and they talk to each other. So I got to just click this Google Drive. I'm sorry, Nancy.
Yeah, I bet. That's why we built it all in here. So if you don't remember, everything is in the slides and there are videos of us going through all of these things in the slides.
So this one, it just automatically uploads it. So if you're interested in that, go for it. If you already published your Screencastify on YouTube, you don't even need this step. Just search your YouTube link.
That works too.
It's totally up to you.
I do like being able to push it to Edpuzzle now, because there are people who may not want to make a channel on YouTube. This automatically just shares it with Edpuzzle and makes sure that it's viewable by students. So you don't have to worry about like those viewing permissions. It is a nice option to have.
Happy Mother's Day.
So we tried to be better about the task this time. I think we did pretty good. We thought we would get through at least those 3. So I think we did pretty good there.
5th time's the charm. There is a little video of me walking you through my grade book. If you're interested in seeing that, just because you don't have students, if you want to see that end of things, go ahead and watch that video on your own time. There are some professional development courses that you can see. There's a lot of them, actually.
There are a lot of them. And Edpuzzle, they're very well done.
There's a lot of them.
They're very well done. Yes.
And look at all the beautiful badges. You should totally do them.
For the badges.
For the badges. Okay. And as always, we are here if you guys need us. You can video chat us with this sweet Bitmoji. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Did you talk about PDUs?
I've mentioned it a few times, yeah.
Okay, I'll send out an email to follow up if you are interested in PDUs. You did fill it out on the sign-in sheet.
Yep.
So I'll reach out to you guys.
Yep. Perfect.
Melissa and Becky, thank you. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone have a great weekend, and to all the moms, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, for sure. I always love that Teacher Appreciation Week and Mother's Day are that's one whole week where I feel super appreciated all year.
Yes.
A quick question on Google Classroom setting up the grades into Infinite Campus. So I saw the link today in Google Classroom that you could link it. The grade in Infinite Campus beforehand, or how's that work? Because I haven't tried it yet.
We're talking about Classroom to Infinite Campus?
Yeah.
That just happened yesterday, like last night. So I haven't been able to play with it yet. Becky, have you looked at it?
I have not, because honestly, my Google Classroom grades are not what I put in Infinite Campus, but I'm going to practice it with freshman seminar this week. So I will definitely let you know. Z?
Okay, because I don't want to like put it in there and screw everything up.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't want to screw up freshman seminar, but I guess you can't really screw it up. So
yeah.
It'll be fine. Whatever.
It's all fixable.
Yeah.
It's fixable.
It'll be totally fine. Nancy, are you okay there? Okay.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. I'll probably have tons of questions because just trying to figure everything out.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Take your time. You don't have to use it all.
I also have to learn a whole new content area, and it's all with the computer. So that's why I'm so on overload right now. I have to teach photography.
Oh my goodness.
So I have to learn Photoshop over the summer.
Yeah.
So it's just